Hi, this is a review of a Bosch induction hob that my wife and I bought some weeks ago. We're not going to attempt to make a completely comprehensive review of all features. This is really aimed to point out some important limitations of the hob that you really need to be aware of if you're considering buying it, and which will form the basis of our evidence to a small claims court, since we're attempting to get the hob taken back because in our opinion, it's not fit for purpose and doesn't function as described. The biggest issue is the unevenness of the heating elements and the fact that they only heat a very small part of the zone that Bosch indicate should be being heated by the induction coils. So you can see on their website that they tout this hob as being super flexible and as having a burner area 24 centimeters across. The idea is that the entire rectangular region should be a heating zone. So naturally we expected that putting a large frying pan on the large zone should result in the whole frying pan being heated. Unfortunately, only a small strip down the middle of the large joint induction zone seems to be heated when you turn it on. And even with a smaller pan, like this 20 centimetre pan, it's only a small area in the middle of the pan that gets heated. This unevenness has very practical consequences when you try to cook. You could get away with using a very small pan perhaps, but using any pan bigger than about 15 centimetres across, you get very uneven cooking and you have to move the food around constantly. So finish off the video by showing you a couple of examples of what it's actually like to cook on.
Right, so as you can see, at the moment it's cooking on that side of the pan. Now, this side isn't cooking. If I rotate the pan, let's see if it's anything to do with the temperature of the food. So there we go. Let's just keep watching and wait to see if it adjusts. There's my setting, and as you can see, it's now completely stopped cooking at the front, and it's only cooking on that side again. So it looks as if for some reason this hob has decided to just cook that quarter and not the front quarter, even though the pan is very clearly, it's a 24 centimetre pan I think, and it's placed completely centrally over that zone, over those two zones at the front, but only half of it is being picked up by this hob. Okay, so we're going to do a demonstration of this Bosch hob induction, and you can see the markings there. So the marking suggests that the induction zone is 24 centimetres wide, and I am going to melt some raclette across that zone. These raclette pans are 7 centimetres, 8 centimetres, there you go, 8 centimetres across the bottom, so it's 24 centimetres, so that should be exactly right for that zone. And according to the advertising, the zone is 28 centimetres wide. I'm going to get my raclette. This is straight from the freezer, by the way, all lined up inside the markings. Actually, it fits exactly inside the Bosch markings. And I'm now going to turn on the hob, there we are, that zone, and we're going to put it on 6 to start off with. important not to melt it too fast, it will burn on the bottom and then it will just be still cold on the top, which is not what we want. And we're just going to watch what happens. Right, well, I can hear some crackling going on. And I can see that just there it's starting to melt. It sounds a bit hot actually. I'm going to turn it down because I don't want it to burn on the bottom. But there's only one that's crackling, and that's that one in the middle. If you want to get a close-up there, you can actually see that one's sizzling away quite nicely there. Whereas these ones, there's a little bit of melting happening around the edge. Not much going on there. So the reason we chose this hob was because we would have a wider zone on which to cook. Whereas what we appear to have is actually just one little burner in the middle, and the rest, Bosch assume, will be down to the heat induction of your pan.
Conductivity of the pan, yeah.
Yeah, conductivity, yeah. Well, yeah, that one's starting to melt through. I think it's already fairly clear that this is not a 24 centimetre wide induction zone.